Hey everybody, I am on for the midweek message reveal. It is Wednesday, July 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd. I'm leaving that in there. The reason why I'm leaving stuff like this in there is because I just want to express myself as truly and honestly as I can. It took me a long time to get to this point, and I know people get weird about hearing themselves on voicemails and shit like that, and I'm telling you, it's been a journey showing up here and sitting in front of my own face a lot of the time. And life is wild, and does it really matter if it's the 2nd or the 3rd? I don't think it does, because time isn't real. But now that I know that it is the 2nd, and we have confirmed that, welcome to the energy this week. Hey, like how I turned that around? Okay. So, I went with something different. I'm mixing it up, playing around, being creative, and the energy is allowing me to do that. So if you're feeling that too, and you're digging it, maybe you're not digging it. If you're not digging it, let me know. I don't know if that'll change anything, probably not, but still, I respect your ability to communicate that to me, and that is a great segue into the energy that we got going on. So, happy July. We are in a portal that has opened here called the Sirius Gateway, and that occurs from July 2nd through the 7th. So we're kind of in the ramping up center, juicy center of it, okay? The gushers of this gateway. Sirius is a star in our system, and when the sun aligns with the star Sirius, it brings through a clearer, more intentional energy that is designed to help us withstand the stuff that's going on. In a very basic way, if I could just explain it in a very generic sense. Ugh. We consider Sirius to be our spiritual sun. And when we are in alignment with that which gives us light, it casts a lot of energy and clarity onto things that are kind of shady, kind of rocky, kind of funky, and you're not really getting, a true eyeball on some of the things that are going on, or a true inner knowing of what is actually happening. And we're starting to see that uncover. We're starting to see things crumble. We're starting to see physical buildings of corporations and corporations and large conglomerates just like literally falling apart. It's symbolic and it's fucking literal, and it's wild because it doesn't seem like it should be so freaking literal, but it is, and everything is so friggin' bananas town. Whew. Sorry, I zoned out there for a second. This connection with Sirius is important because it allows us to uncover the things that are difficult for us to have seen in other ways. It's almost the sort of sticky, sort of funky energy that we were experiencing very much so last week before we kicked over into this newer energy has allowed us to get more of a understanding of how we're truly feeling with Cancer season being front and center with the sun sign. Now, 3rd and 4th, tomorrow and the 4th, we have Venus moving into Gemini. So as Venus moves into Gemini, this is, it's not just about love, it's about how you are seen in flow. How does flow work in your world? Abundance, financially, time. Time is something that it has currency. Communication and how that's going, and how your relationships, close and interdependent, how are they working, interpersonal, all of those skills are kind of being honed in. So with that energy happening, and we're in the Mercury shadow period, which will happen on the 15th, we have Mercury going retrograde, we're kind of starting to chatter a bit more about what's happening here. And Gemini wants to talk about it. Gemini also is able to see both sides of it. So your finances may take center stage, while your relationship and how it is functioning may feed into each other in sort of a way that is, I don't know, not necessarily comfortable, but something that gets a big fat light shown on it, and you got to have the talk. And this social energy that comes through with Gemini energy is highlighted here, and it wants to assist you in flowing that abundance, to allow those things to flow. And it's so ironic that I'm like stumbling on my words as we're talking about communication. It hasn't happened yet. We're in the shift, y'all. Okay. And then another thing on the 4th, we have Neptune going retrograde. Now, why does this matter so much? It matters in a sense that what's happening with Neptune and how it's kind of hanging out, what that's affecting what we're already dealing with. And Neptune uncovers illusions and brings through clarity. So again, just highlighting that we have an alignment with this spiritual sun Sirius that is shining a big fat light on stuff and truth, and asking things to crumble and to be seen for what they really are. And that also is ourselves and things that we are experiencing as well. You may also be experiencing a microcosm in your life where the greater world stage is somehow playing out in a smaller way in your own community or in your workplace or in aspects of your relationships. Topics around boundaries, topics around what should be considered okay and what is fucking unrealistically, unbelievably, unabashedly, abhorrently wrong. And why there is that disconnect. We want to talk about it. And it affects how we spend. It affects how we exist. It affects our feeling of safety. It affects our feelings of being able to prosper and turn and make choices and decisions. And all of that is being shown a big fat light on it. So if you're experiencing that, welcome to What's Up. You are right on track. As far as moving into messages here, what I want to talk about is in more of a collective sense. Now, I know with the video was asking you to kind of pull out something from it, when really what my aim was for you to pull something out of you. What comes through? And I'm going to give you an opportunity here. You can just go ahead and here, we'll take a little break. It's like a minute video. If you want to take a look back and have another go at it before this comes through here, take a moment, take a look. Quick little side note, just want to say too, and if you're newer here with me, welcome. And for those of you who have been with me for a minute or pop in every once in a while with midweek messages, I want you to know that you can watch a midweek message at any point. It does not have to be that previous week. If you skip a week, it doesn't matter. If you go back 3 years on a rando Wednesday and you decide that you want to watch a card pull or you want to watch a crystal pull or whatever it is that I was doing at that point, and it feels cool to you and you just want to see what's happening, it will apply to you right now because I set that intention. There is no construct that the message that's meant for you, that your higher self draws you to that moment to watch that video, you will get something out of it every time. And that is the gift I give to you, is the always of it. So don't feel like you can't go back. Don't feel like you can't pause this right now. Don't feel like you can't watch this whole thing through and then go back and make a different choice or see if you pull something out of it. There's no wrong way to do things. And maybe that's why I feel like I don't want to take out, the fact that like I've got like a freaking cat hair like stuck on my face right now. And I'm normally, years ago, I would have stopped this video and restarted the entire thing and it would have completely uprooted everything. Because God forbid should I be fucking human on camera. That's really what it is. Can we be human? Where is the human in this, in you? What do you want to see? Because it's up to you. And that's what I'm trying to bring through. All right. Let's take a little breath here before we get into it. Connecting with everyone's energy and all of the thoughts and wishes and words that we pulled and pooled together. There is a deep feeling, almost a pulsation in the belly here, almost like a rock that's just kind of sitting there. And sometimes it feels painful, swollen, kind of like when you have a bellyache and something's off. You just don't feel right. You're not sick to your stomach, but it's tender, physically tender. You can hold that space. That feeling is felt here by everyone. Everyone who contributed and pulled and pushed in this transmission of sorts. And there are times when the belly feels, this rock feels heavy, and it just feels like something as a constant. Pressing up, I can actually feel like against like your abdominal wall. I'm very aware that there is something there, and there's almost like a weight on the solar plexus. And this weight is one that is both self-imposed and also in a societal sense, it is supported. The belief that one person alone can't possibly make a difference. One person's experience and story, even if they never left the small town that they lived in, is not one that's worth reading or writing about or hearing about or sharing. And it's finding the voice that moves this rock and breaks it down into something that can be digested and almost repurposed. I'm hearing the word reframe. A lot of what you're seeing right now is not really what's going down. And there's a smoke screen, right? There's the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Okay? We are in a room of curtains. It's kind of, okay, I'm seeing, you know how I ask for like just weird ways for information to come across? Here's what we got. Okay, so not just the constant pulling of curtains upon curtains where you can tell that there's someone behind something, but you're not able to find them. It's like a fun house mirror sort of, I don't want to say drapes, curtain situation. I think you understand what I'm saying. What else I'm seeing? It's Scooby-Doo. It's like standing outside, you've got somebody tied up and they've got a bag over their head, or it's a mask that they've got on. And everybody's ready for the reveal. Who's under there? Who did it? Who foiled us or was attempting to? What weird sort of bait and switch manipulation tactics have gone on here from this person that we can unmask? And you go to unmask it, and there's just another bag on the head. It continues to be a mask upon mask upon mask. Eventually, even though it feels like one of those, there's a lot of circus energy. There's a lot of performance energy that's coming through. I feel very, I hear like there's like circus vibes. It's very performative. It's very much designed to bring a whole group around to view. And you're very aware of this feeling now. And that feeling itself is something that takes some time to process. Processing what it means to understand that what you're searching for in clarity is not only not able to be found, but the logicking and the assuming and the expectations and the bookkeeping and timekeeping of it, where we're trying to figure things out, doesn't compute. But things are starting to move. That's the feeling that is being asked of us here in this collective group to latch on to. It's like an underground sort of hum, an understanding that while something's off, just like my air conditioning, perfect example. Before it gets going, even though it's off, it has a moment where there's just a hum. And this might be something that we're understanding too, is that we're starting to feel a certain sort of vibration, which is also considered a resonance, meaning it's something that you jive with. It's something that is a ping to you, right? But at the same time, it's something that's universal because we're all designed to get on the same playing field here. We need to get on the same frequency in order for anything to be experienced, because you can only experience what you're at the frequency at. So if you don't want to be at the frequency of this insanity, find a different way to move above it to where the frequency that you are seeking gives back in some small way. How do you do this? This seems fucking crazy, Kelly. Why would you tell me this crap? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to stop all this bananas town stuff that is happening across the world? I'm not asking you to stop it. I'm not saying that that's what you're hoping to do or that anyone can. But you can change how you process what's happening by choosing an outcome and a trajectory for what it is you want to focus on. Something that is going to do something more positive than be in the woe is me situation state that we're sitting in. The freaking wet diaper mess that you're just kind of stuck in. That feeling. That is not where you want to be. You can't create from there. Okay? The goal is to get to something that feels just a little bit better. And when you can't get to what feels a little bit better on your own, seek out something like sitting outside and experiencing a sunrise and hearing what is happening around you, and understand that the world will continue and the world is in a state of flux in an attempt to balance. And we are of this. We are of this earth. And while so much of us is like, our alien selves are like, get us out of this, man. Like, what? For real? For real. If you open your eyes in the morning, you choose to be here. There's something here that is worth being here for. And sometimes knowing that part, and maybe the anticipation of figuring out what that special thing is that maybe is eluding you at the moment, can be a little breadcrumb of curiosity that lifts you just a little bit. And every day a little bit more. Taking a little bit of time for you. Sitting down and allowing yourself some self-reflection, contemplation. Checking in literally with yourself. Seeing how you are doing and understanding that your self-care, or lack thereof, ripples out. If you can't do things on a global scale, which no one is expecting, start where you're at. What's that song? It's in my head. Like, eagle fly with the dove. If you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. That one. Love the one you're with. That song. That's in my head. Do 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 do. I don't think is in that song, but I'm crossing the streams there on songs. So maybe somebody's got some Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young up in there on the crossover, because that was not the original song. But the love you one you with. Love the. Slow it down. Word. Love the one you're with. That's you. You to you. And once you get to where you feel a little more stable and a little more able, you extend that out to the one that you're with. The closest ones. And let that ripple out. And let that ripple out. And keep talking about it. And keep trying. And keep showing up. And keep knowing that you're here for a reason. And you get to figure out what the fuck that is. It's pretty cool. All right. Those are the messages this week. Would love to hear how they land for you, so please leave me some feedback. Would love to work with you as well, so please check my website. Give me some feedback on this format. Are you digging it? I have some other things that I'm going to be kind of playing around with, so stay tuned. And just know that you got this. And I know that sounds cheesy and maybe phony. I don't mean it that way. We've been through a lot. We all have. And we're still here. You have something very needed. And you get to figure out what that is. Yeah. Have a beautiful week. Be safe. Don't blow your stupid hands off. I don't mean stupid. I mean, yeah, I do. Don't be stupid and blow your hands off, or that would be really dumb. Okay, great. Thanks. All right, peace. Bye.